David Long Jr., you are a New York Giant. Just days after the 2024 NFL Draft being wrapped up, Joe Schoen goes back into NFL free agency and adds a outside corner to this roster. We'll break down the player of David Long Jr. We'll let you know everything you need to know about him and what he brings to this football team. But first, I need to make sure everybody watching today's video is subscribed. We put out free, informative, entertaining updates every day on your New York Football Giants. And this is why you subscribe. When the Giants make a move, we make a video. So hit that red sub button right now and lock us in. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and the Giants are back at it when it comes to signing veteran players and NFL free agency. The Giants and David Long Jr., the cornerback, have come to terms on a contract. If I had to bet, I would say it is a one-year veteran minimum deal. David Long Jr. was a third-round pick by the Los Angeles Rams going back to the 2019 NFL Draft. He spent 4 seasons with the Rams, and last year he spent time with the Raiders, Panthers, and the Green Bay Packers. Long has appeared in 66 regular season games with 12 regular season starts. He also has played in 6 postseason games with 1 start, which occurred in the Rams' victory over the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. So you're adding a player that has won an NFL championship. He's got a ring, and he did it as a starting member of the defense. He's 5'11", 196 pounds. He's a former Michigan Wolverine where he had a pretty good career as well. Has not lived up to the bill of being that third-round pick, but he's had some nice moments in this league. Does it solve the outside cornerback issue for the Giants? I'm not so sure. Just 19 tackles and 1 pass breakup last year. But if you are strictly talking about adding another outside corner to this roster, that is exactly what Joe Schoen did. Long Jr. has spent most of the time at the outside corner position. 964 snaps there compared to just 275 in the slot. You look at the numbers and the statistics and how those stack up over the last 4 years of his NFL career. I like how he's just available to play. 16 games in 2020. 16 more games in 2021, 12 in 2022, 14 in 2023. His best year of his career was that 2021 season where he had 40 tackles, 4 pass breakups, 1 interception, and 16 games played. But the numbers aren't all pretty. And I think that is showed when you look at when he has allowed completions to when he is targeted. He was targeted 23 times this past year, and he allowed catches 17 times. 32 times in 2022 he was targeted, and he allowed 24 catches. 2021, which was his best year, still allowed a completion percentage of over 50%. Only 6 times targeted in 2020. Didn't play all that much. In his rookie year, he didn't play all that much either. You look at his career Pro Football Focus grades, and in 2019, where he played just 109 snaps, he was graded out as a 67.4 overall with a 66.7 coverage grade. Then in 2020, 116 snaps, where his defensive grade was 53.6 and a coverage grade of 49.5. Then 2021, like we talked about, his best season with really the most usage. 517 snaps, a defensive grade of 58.8 with a coverage grade of 58.4. Then 2022, 287 snaps, 53.6 defensive grade, 54.2% coverage. According to Pro Football Focus, his coverage grades were the best last year in 2023, where he was graded out as a 75.6. One thing I do like about his game is in his first 2 years, his tackling grade was over 80. And as we know, if you're going to play defensive back for a Shane Bowen defense, you got to be willing to make some tackles. He's also someone that's going to help you in the special teams department. He has 515 special team snaps in his career, 37 of those coming on kick return, 129 on kickoff coverage, 166 on punt return, 65 on punt coverage, and 118 on field goal block. So you get a guy that may be able to help you at that outside corner while also giving you some versatility in the special teams department. So this is now what it looks like when you're looking at the Giants cornerback depth chart. We know Deonte Banks is CB1, but there is still, even with the addition of Long Jr., a major need and a major question mark for me at that second outside corner spot. I like Nick McLeod, but I like him more playing in the slot and playing a little safety and playing a little robber. I don't really want him playing 100% of my cornerback outside CB2 snaps. I don't think Hawkins is going to be able to be that guy. I'm not sure I want David Long Jr. to be that guy. Will Aaron Robinson finally be healthy? Maybe Dru Phillips plays a little outside, but Joe Shane referred to him as a slot corner with the versatility to bounce outside. So the outside CB2 position is still a major, major need for the Giants, even though they just went out inside David Long Jr. I want you to be honest with me, though, and get out your red pen. What is your grade for the Giants corner depth chart as we sit and film this video on May 1st? A, B, C, D, or F? I can't go any higher than a C. And I love Deonte Banks, but I've got a lot of question marks elsewhere. Maybe you can convince me in the comment section. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at some more free agent targets and also go over some important Giants off-season days that you need to have marked down on your calendar. But first, go to chatsports.com/neighbors. That's chatsports.com/neighbors and get a brand new New York Giants Malik Neighbors jersey. He will not be wearing number 1 as it is retired, but that's the number that our site puts on the jerseys before they have chosen their number. So once he does choose a number, it'll go on the jersey and it'll be sent out to you. Go right here. Get your jersey today. Chatsports.com/neighbors. Alrighty, let's go through some other Giants free agent targets because even though they signed Long Jr., I still think outside corner is a position of need. I think defensive tackle is a position of need. You can add another offensive lineman and edge rushers. The best guy, in my opinion, at the cornerback position that are free agents include Xavier Howard and Stephon Gilmore. Those two people would take this defensive backfield to another level. Adoree Jackson's still out there, but I think that ship has sailed. It's not going to happen. Maybe you look for another veteran like Patrick Peterson. Maybe a Killer Witherspoon. I like him. Or maybe you want to bring a guy back that's already played for this team in Fabian Morrow. Defensive tackle is also another position I'd like to see the Giants address. Calais Campbell is my number 1 defensive tackle target for the Giants. Was still really good last year for the Atlanta Falcons. I think he had like 6.5 sacks or something like that. And I think him being in the same room as a guy like Jordan Riley or DJ Davidson could go a long way for the development of those players. I'm never going to be mad if you want to add more offensive linemen to this team. The Giants gave up 85 sacks last year. Might as well continue to add some players. I don't think Donovan Smith or David Bakhtiari make a lot of sense, or DJ Humphries. Maybe a veteran like Jason Peters, or maybe you go after Billy Turner or Chris Hubbard or something like that. Charles Leno, potentially. I would not mind adding another offensive lineman. If I had to choose any offensive lineman to sign, it would be Connor Williams of the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys. The versatility he brings, I think, would really help this O-line. He could play center, and he could play both guard spots. And the Giants, if they see Evan Neal struggling at right tackle, they're going to bounce Jermaine Illuminor out there. And I know you signed Stinney, and I know you signed Schlottman, but Williams, in my opinion, is better than both of them. He is coming off a torn ACL, so maybe that's a concern, and maybe he's just not in the price budget. But I would love to see Connor Williams or maybe Nick Gates, once again, being a New York Giant. Edge is also a major need for me. The Giants need to add another pass rusher. You got Kayvon Thibodeau, and you got Brian Burns. But after that, it's just question marks. I think Azeez Ojulari has a lot of talent. I think he'd be a really good football player in this league. But he has proven through 3 seasons that he is going to miss games more often than not. Bring me Bud Dupree. Dupree had a really good year last year for the Atlanta Falcons. He has that connection with Shane Bowen dating back to their days with the Tennessee Titans. So I'd like for the Giants to go out and sign a guy like Bud Dupree. Off-season dates for the Giants to close out today's show. OTA'S will start coming up in a couple of weeks. May 20th and the 21st, you'll have an OTA session. Then again on the 23rd, then a break for a week, and you'll close it out with sessions on the 28th, 29th, and 31st of May, then June 3rd and 4th, and then June 6th and 7th. Mandatory minicamp opens up at the beginning of June. That is June 11th through the 13th. That is mandatory. If players do not show up, there will be fines, and that's usually when storylines start to come up. Rookie mini camps, though, one of my favorite times of the year. You get your first look and an up close and personal look at some of these players that you select in the 2024 NFL Draft. That will start on May 9th, then May 10th, and May 11th. On May 11th or maybe May 12th, I'll have a video out on the channel telling you the winners and losers coming out of Giants rookie minicamp. And you should be a winner and not a loser. And follow me over on social media at @MarshallGreen_.